Imagine you're investing in something you believe will be the next big cryptocurrency. You see it as the opportunity of a lifetime, the chance to find the next Bitcoin. But what if I told you that this investment was actually a massive scam that destroyed billions of dollars? That's exactly what happened with OneCoin. A woman named Ruja Ignatova managed to steal $4 billion with a supposed cryptocurrency, and most people didn't realize it until it was too late. But how did this happen? How could something that looked like a golden opportunity turn into one of the biggest scams in crypto history? You might be thinking, how could anyone fall for something like that? Trust me, it's more complicated than you think. In this video, we'll dive deep into the OneCoin scam. I'll walk you step by step through the creation of this fake cryptocurrency, the tricks used to convince people that it was the next Bitcoin, and the lessons we can learn from it. You'll see how a cryptocurrency went from nothing to billions of dollars, and how, in the end, it all came crashing down. Stay tuned because at the end, I'll tell you what to watch out for so you don't fall for the next scam. But before we go further, let's be honest for a moment. No one, not even crypto experts, can always see these scams coming. So we need help, right? I wasn't alone in trying to understand the extent of what was happening here. There were experts, journalists, and even former insiders who raised red flags long before it was too late. Think of it like learning a new game. You don't just jump in without reading the manual. You have to talk to those who've already been in it and can provide the knowledge and insight. In the case of OneCoin, this knowledge came from those who warned us about scams like it long before it was too late. Okay, let's begin the journey. It all started in 2014 when Ruja Ignatova launched OneCoin. She promised investors massive returns and claimed that her coin would be worth more than Bitcoin. Sounds too good to be true, right? Yeah, but the truth is, people didn't ask the right questions. They weren't concerned with the details. They just wanted to get rich quickly. They took the bait and started investing. But here's the twist. OneCoin wasn't even a real cryptocurrency. It didn't even have a blockchain behind it. It was just a flashy, overpriced investment scheme dressed up as crypto. As OneCoin grew, so did the number of people who got involved. Thousands joined the network, believing they were part of the next big crypto success. But soon cracks began to show. The so-called blockchain didn't exist. The coin's value was artificially inflated. Investors started to question the legitimacy, but by then, it was too late. Ruja herself disappeared without a trace, leaving the millions of people who trusted her with empty hands. It was a race against time for authorities and investigators to uncover the truth. And guess what? Many of them couldn't catch her. The barriers, misinformation, distractions, and a complete lack of regulation. As we dive deeper into this story, we see just how massive the scam was, but there was something much bigger lurking behind the scenes. How did she manage to pull something like this off on such a scale? And how many others were involved? The full extent of the operation was still hidden under layers of deception. It all came to a head when regulators finally started taking action. The whole system collapsed, and people began to realize they had been duped. By this point, millions of people worldwide had lost billions of dollars, and no one knew where Ruja had gone. It seemed like an impossible task to recover even a fraction of the lost money. But not all was lost. The investigations into the OneCoin case led to an important discovery. Education is the best defense against such scams. The real treasure we find here is the awareness that scams like OneCoin can happen to anyone, but they don't have to. If you recognize the signs of a scam, if you understand the basics of real crypto, you're already one step ahead of the game. Through this disaster, we learned valuable lessons about due diligence and trusting what's real. The support we received came from the investigators, the journalists who never gave up, and the crypto community that, despite this massive setback, continues to work on restoring trust in the crypto space. Although the damage had already been done, the world learned an important lesson. Many people who were initially burned by the OneCoin scam became more cautious and wiser in their crypto investments. They began using better resources, consulting expert opinions, and became part of a more regulated and informed crypto community. The true treasure, however, was the knowledge and wisdom gained from such a massive failure. a lesson that will help prevent the next big scam. Once everything collapsed, it was time to pick up the pieces. Regulators, law enforcement, and the crypto community had to come together to rebuild trust. But here's the thing, we lost something along the way: the trust of millions of people who were tricked out of their hard-earned money. The damage was done. Some people will never return to crypto, and others will forever be cautious with new investments. But for those who survived the scam and learned from it, life began to look different. Many investors became more careful and selective. They started using tools like blockchain explorers, verifying the legitimacy of coins, and using reputable exchanges. They knew that the world of crypto had massive potential, but they also understood that with big opportunities comes big responsibility. The crypto world as a whole became more mature, safer, and more aware of the dangers. Some even went further, teaching others how to recognize scams, and became voices of caution and security in the community. The resolution is simple. The OneCoin scam taught us all that due diligence matters. We learned that transparency is key, and that just because something looks good doesn't mean it is. The value of education became crystal clear. If you want to succeed in crypto, learn, ask questions, and verify everything. Scams will continue to happen, but with the right mindset and the right knowledge, you can avoid them. So what is the new status quo after all this? The crypto space is different today. We have better safeguards in place, and more eyes are on the industry. The trust in blockchain has grown, but so has the need for critical thinking. Today, the crypto world is more cautious, informed, and resilient. The next wave of crypto investors is smarter than ever and ready to make the most of the technology without falling for the next scam.